Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Bhutang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. Duthyampi bhutang saranang gacchami, Duthyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Duthyampi sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatyampi bhutang saranang gacchami, Tatyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kame sumichachara veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Suramirya maja pamadatana veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to abstain from killing. I undertake the precept to abstain from taking the not given. I undertake the precept to abstain from sexual misconduct. I undertake the precept to abstain from false and malicious speech. I undertake the precept to abstain from taking intoxicants that induce heedlessness. Karaniyam atta kusalena yang tang sang tang padang abhisamecha sakku ujucha sujucha suvachocha samudu anantimani santu sakocha subarocha appakichocha sallahuka buddhi Santindriyocha nipakocha appagabo kulesu ananugido nachakodam samachare kinchiyena vinyupare upavadeyum Sukino va kemino hontu. Sabde satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Ye ke chipana bhutati. Tasavata varava anavasesa. Digavaye mahantava. Madrimarasakanukotulla. Dittavayeva aditta. Ye dure vasanti avidure. Bhutava sambhave siva. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Naparo paramikubeta. Yati manyeta katta chinam kanchi. Pyarosana patiga sanya. Jnana manyasa dukkamicheya. Mata niyang puttang. Ayusa eka puttang anurakke. Evampi sabba bhutesu. Manasang bhavaye aparimanam. Mettang ca sabba lokasmim. Manasang bhavaye aparimanam. Uttang adocha tiriyancha. Asampadang averang asapattam. Tittang charang nisinova. Sayanova yavatassa vigantamidu. Etang satim aditeya. Brahmang etang viharang idamahu. Dittin cha anupagama silava. Dasanena sampanno. Kame suvinaya gedam. Nahi jatu gapaseyam. Punyaetiti. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being at any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Chanting helps us to touch our hearts and to open our hearts the heart is not depending on our memories, good or bad, more like it is depending on our present mentality, present nature of our consciousness. mind is remembering its own past experiences, remembering people, incidents, places, and things. Maybe for the 100 of times. Maybe for the 101st time, one time. And usually we always look at them, connect to them, react to them, or respond to them in the same way, same reactions, same response for 100 of times. Can we find a new way, new angle, new point of view, fresh vision? We are different and they are different. New path is in front of us. A new door is open. A new journey is just beginning. Very fresh journey, fresh life, and fresh path. No old footprints are there. No any old footprints at all. To, to see a fresh vision with this intention, you may open your eyes slowly and consciously now. Dear Paul, now everybody is waiting for you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Upul, and good afternoon, friends. I'm very happy to participate again to this in this meditation retreat, and also to moderate or to facilitate the discussion the coming hour. So you are welcome to ask any question that has come up, maybe during the day after hearing Upul's talk, or any question that you might have that is related to your practice or to the spiritual path. And there are basically two ways to ask the question. When you look at the bottom of your screen, you see a square with the word chat. So if you click on the square, you can type your message there, and then you see two, and if you go to my name is Paul van Hooijdonk, a little difficult for the Asian people who are participating, I suppose, but Paul, it starts with Paul. And if you send your message to me, then I can read it and I can read the question out loud. So that is one way. Or you can also simply ask the question live, so everybody can see and hear you. And I want to ask you to unmute yourself first if you choose for the last option. So simply click on the microphone at the bottom of your screen, and then you can ask your question. So I think we can start with this discussion. Is there anybody who would like to start? Please feel free. Okay, I received a couple of messages. And the first one is from Mandy. And she says, "Good afternoon, Paul. Could teacher Upul please elaborate the practice of end of wandering, beginning of living? Thank you." So I will repeat. Good afternoon, Paul. Could teacher Upul please elaborate on the practice of end of wandering, beginning of living? So Upul, I pass the word on to you.
Thank you, Paul. The question says, good teacher or good teacher?
I'll have a look. The question says, could teacher Upul please elaborate?
Well, Thanks, Mandy, for asking by putting me in trouble by asking this question. As we all know that what mind wonders mean. So it is going, running and jumping. But when we try to watch this mind, this wandering mind, only then we can realize this, that it is going in the same way. So wandering mind doesn't know any new way to wander, any new place to go. So it is always going to the past, going to the past, going to yesterday, going to day before yesterday, going to last week. So same old past, same old places. It goes again and again. Therefore, actually, this wandering mind is very old. It is actually already dead. No life at all. No need to have a life for wandering, to go to same place again and again. Do we need awareness or mindfulness or consciousness to go to the same place, to go to the bedroom, to the bathroom, to the garden, or to the bus stand, or to the working place? Do we need a mindfulness? Do we have to live from moment to moment? No, no need. It can happen mechanically, as a robot, as a machine. So life is not necessary factor for wandering mind. Actually, no life is there. It is already dead. Whenever mind starts to wander, it is wandering in a cemetery with dead memories. No life is there, only shadows of the darkness. But unfortunately, this wandering mind doesn't know any other way. It thinks everything is there. Everything is there. But whenever we come to the present moment, whenever we try to see, hear, and feel things differently with fresh consciousness, only then we can see, or the mind begins to see, a new way of thinking, new way of living, new way of responding, new way of accepting, new way of understanding. So we start to feel that we are living. I think nobody feels that they are living when the mind is wandering. No life. We cannot touch the life, the energy of life, the taste of living. But whenever we start to be in the present, here and now, only then we feel the life. We feel that living begins. So then everything is new. Everything is new. Everything is fresh. Many new doors are there. Many new opportunities are there, which we didn't know before. We have been stuck with many past memories and with many past emotions. Again and again, whenever we remember them, same wall is there. We hit the wall always. all the time when we remember, when we wonder. But suddenly we realize this, that no more walls. Walls are disappeared. Infinity valley is there in front of us. Infinity valley. No doors, no gates. Freedom. Freedom is there. So whenever freedom begins, life, new life. When the mind is wandering, then no freedom at all. The wandering mind doesn't know what the freedom is, and the wandering mind is not interested in freedom at all either. It is only looking for pleasures. Pleasure is one thing, freedom is another thing. No freedom, but only pleasures for the wandering mind. Whenever the wandering mind stops, then freedom begins. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Upul. So, Mandy, was this an answer to your question?
Yes, thank you. I'll practice for that. Thank you.
So several people sent me a message saying that I missed somebody who was raising her hands. Bahar Tugba, if she is still there, Bahar Tugba, but I think that she has left. So I go to, I think she's there now. Bahar Tugba, you raised your hand, is that correct?
Hi.
Please.
Okay, you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so today I was recently last 4 years I meditate every day, and I joined retreats in Nilambe, and I had good meditation practice, and I was in that state for 1-2 years, and I thought, yes, it's very nice and I can act on things positively, and yeah, it was going nice. And then this pandemic thing and the other things, and also, you know, you come back from the retreat and you look things with the fresh eyes, as we talk today. And I actually get a new name. Bahar is my new name. Tuba is my old name, because I felt, then it was hard for me, to see your mother or your best friends with the new eyes, with the dark or negativity, and I wanted to distance myself from them. And in the long term, it brought me kind of self-doubt, and I couldn't integrate my life to spiritual life and also your past, because there's a long history. So it feels a little bit like I felt like confused. So like the meditation is like opening space for new possibilities. I feel like getting lost and exhausted from the pandemic and financial crisis in my country, at least. I think it's also global. And yes, I lost my meditative mind, and there is constantly fear and constantly headache, or I don't know, like my thoughts started to be negative, and I wasn't negative recently. And in this state, I just don't know how to continue, how I should take the meditation in my daily life. I mean, I normally live in Istanbul, in a big city, but I came to the village. I live here for next months. So it's maybe it is personal, but it could be, you know, for all of us. So I'm just interested in yeah, what we can, I mean, in that state, in this destructive state, how I should, what would help me maybe.
Okay, thank you very much, Bahar Tukba. I try to summarize your question. You feel confused, you have lost the meditative mind, you feel fear, you have a headache, and you are in quite a negative state at the moment. Your question is how to continue the path, how to continue meditation in daily life, and how to deal with this distractive or distracted mind. Is that correct?
Yes, and what type of meditation?
And what
Sometimes,
type?
yeah, meditation makes me more stressed. You know, you have to do something, and
Okay.
I don't know.
And what? So basically, that means how to continue your practice.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Upul. We are listening to you.
Thanks, Paul. Nice to see you, dear Tukpa, after a long time.
Nice to see you.
And yeah, less or more, we all are experiencing same thoughts and same feelings and same emotions from time to time, especially after this COVID-19 and after changes of global changes. Yes, a lot of insecurity is there, anxiety is there, fear is there, stress is there. That's true. So it's good that you know it's a global experience, not personal experience. It's a global experience. The entire globe is experiencing those emotions for time to time. And therefore, we cannot be an alien in this globe. No one can be an alien. As you know, those emotions are going from one mind to another mind. They can fly. They are flying from one mind to another mind like a virus. Goes from one body to another. So emotions and thoughts and feelings are going from mind to mind. They can travel. We are carriers of them. So at the moment, you are carrying them, but you are not the source of all those negativities. Don't think that you are the source of those negativities. All those negativities are arising from you. No, not from you. They are not coming from you. You are not the spring. You are not the source of fear. It comes through you, not from you. You are not responsible for these things. You are not responsible for whatever happens in your country. Whatever happens in the world, you are not responsible. Don't take that responsible. It is out of our control. I think no one can control what is happening in the world now. Nobody. Because of whatever happens, we are experiencing emotions, feelings, and sensations. And they are coming to us, staying with us, and going to another person, another person, another person. So this is the nature. So the very first thing is, please look at yourself as a carrier. As a carrier, you are a carrier at the moment, for this moment. The second thing, look at them as travelers, tourists. All those emotions are tourists, travelers. They are traveling for a while. After that, they may die. No tourist can travel forever from one country to another country. That is not possible. So, but at the moment, they are traveling. So look at them as travelers, as a tourist, as you travel to Sri Lanka, then to Germany, now you are in Turkey. So likewise, by looking in these both ways, you are just a carrier and they are just tourists. By looking in this very fresh and new point of view, you can relax. Up to certain extent, maybe not 100%, don't expect 100% relaxation within 1 second or within one meditation session. But at least you can breathe freely. Try to breathe freely. This is not an eternal problem. You are not the creator of this problem. And they are not living with you forever. If you look at your life, you can see many years which you didn't have those guests, those tourists with you in your home, only after now. So therefore, in near future, they may leave you, they may say goodbye. Please open for that too. So this is one of the meditation exercises what I can recommend for you. And the next thing is, the next meditation is try to look at them not as problems. Whatever emotions you have, try to relate to them in a different way, not as a problem. Don't think that you are having a problem now because of those emotions. If you think in this way, then what happens is you are multiplying your difficulties, multiplying. So then there is no end. This is the second advice. And the third thing, because of these both meditation exercises, try to see how far you can make friends with those so-called negative emotions. How far you can make friends. Don't pressurize yourself to do metta meditation. Don't pressurize yourself to make 100% friend to whatever you experience. Just ask this question from yourself. How far I can be friendly to whatever I experience with my body and with my mind. It is just a question. No pressure. You are not forcing yourself to achieve anything or to be somebody. Just you are asking how far I can be friendly with this fear. So friendly means you are not looking at them as enemies. That somebody who comes to destroy yourself. No, they don't have any intention to destroy your life. No one can destroy your life. No one can destroy our life except our own self. So therefore, don't empower those emotions to destroy yourself. Keep that power within you. It is your decision. You cannot hand over that decision onto whatever emotions. So try to be friendly. Don't look at them not as enemies, not as enemies. And even though they are there, even though your mind is emotional, just see the body can breathe. Still the body can breathe. That's good. That is good. The body can breathe. and appreciate it. Appreciate it. Because I know sometimes even people cannot breathe when they are too emotional. The body is not allowed to breathe. But now you are not in that moment, you are not in that state. So still your body can breathe. So please appreciate that ability, that capacity. Still the body can tolerate. The body has that capacity to tolerate these emotions. By appreciating, you can more and more breathe freely, effortlessly, and whenever you can breathe freely and effortlessly, then more and more you can relax. So I can give you 100 of techniques, but I think this is enough.
I have one more question. Like sometimes, as you said, like I don't know, I push away people because I say this is their thing, and I cannot be friendly. I lose my tolerance. Maybe there were too much things, and it was too much for me too. So I just want to be alone for a while. But I just wonder how you know you are on the right path still, or you are, I don't know, maybe your personality is changing to something not good. How can you understand that?
Yeah, it needs some time. Therefore, if any thought comes to be alone, just wait for a while. Don't act with that thought, or don't react to that thought immediately. Say, yeah, good suggestion. Thank you for this suggestion. So this is another thing. Please look at whatever thought comes to do anything as a suggestion. Your mind is suggesting you to do something. So first you say thanks. Thanks for this suggestion. You are suggesting me to be alone. Thanks for this suggestion. And then you can do some reflection. Is this the right thing? Do I have to be alone immediately? What's wrong to be with this person for another 10 seconds, another 30 seconds? Or what is wrong to have a cup of tea with this person? So something like that. You can see, are there in new suggestions or more suggestions? But if we react to the very first suggestion, then that's the only suggestion. No more suggestions come. That this openness is very important, very, very important. It takes some time. By taking some time, you can cultivate patience. You can be patient. You don't have to push yourself to be patient. Just by taking some time and doing this discussion with your own mind and asking to send you more suggestions, naturally you can be patient. Patient with yourself and patient with others.
So, Bahar Tukba, is that a satisfying answer?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you. Somebody has asked a question about her meditation practice and is sharing an experience of this morning. Good afternoon, Paul. This morning when I was meditating, distracting thoughts and images came into my mind briefly. When I went back to the meditation, I could not remember any of the distracting thoughts or images. Can Mr. Uppal please explain if this is usual or unusual? Thank you. This is a question from Mendis Dushianti. Good afternoon, Paul. This morning when I was meditating, distracting thoughts and images came into my mind briefly. When I went back to the meditation, I could not remember any of the distracting thoughts or images. Can Mr. Uppal please explain if this is usual or unusual? So, Uppal, is this usual or unusual?
Well, this is usual, but unusual question. The usual question is how to forget those distractive thoughts. That's the usual question. So question is unusual, but the situation is very usual. Well, whatever you are having whatever memory you are having now is more than enough for your living, for this moment. If you cannot remember something, it's okay. This is not the right time to remember it. Whenever the right time comes, those memories occur in your mind by themselves. So, therefore, please do not think it's a problem or something, a weakness that you cannot remember those thoughts. And the second thing is, whenever it happens again, I mean, whenever this so-called distractive thoughts come again, either when you meditate or not, doesn't matter. Just try to understand the label that you are giving to those thoughts, distractive. Why I am using this special word, special label for these thoughts? Can I have another label for these thoughts instead of distractive thoughts? So try to do this observation and investigation whenever you are experiencing or you will be experiencing same situation in the future. I think that's enough, but if you need more clarifications, please ask.
Yes, actually, Uppal, this person, Mendis Dushianti, asked another question which is related to his or her first question. I asked the question because it seemed to contradict with mindfulness and I was a little confused.
Confused about what?
Maybe let me see, I forgot her name. Mendis Dushianti, maybe you can say you were confused about what?
Yes, thank you, Paul. I hope you can hear me. So
Yes, we can.
Thank you. My question was, maybe I didn't understand mindfulness properly. I felt that mindfulness was to always be in the moment and be mindful of everything that we do or think. So when those thoughts, very fleeting thoughts, came to me while I was meditating and then they disappeared and I went back into the meditation state and I couldn't remember them, I thought that maybe I was not being mindful enough. But I think I understand what Mr. Uppal said. So I think I was wrong there, I think. Thank you.
Thanks, Dushanti. Well, mindful, we cannot guarantee, we cannot give a guarantee for mindfulness. That means whenever we are mindful, we can remember everything. We cannot say like that. Whenever we are mindful, then we know how we are reacting, That is the ultimate aim of being mindfulness, to know how we are reacting, what reaction is coming now. But there are different levels of mindfulness, and today the modern world is using mindfulness for many different things, to improve our memories, to day-to-day success, for our educational success, financial success, so and so. But when we come to the path, the meditation, then mindfulness, we need mindfulness to know how the mind is reacting. Before the reaction, what reaction is coming now? So that is, without mindfulness, we cannot see this point. We always react. And after reacting, we can remember, oh, then we say, oh, I should not react like that. Next time, I am not going to react in this way. But next time, same, because no mindfulness. So we need mindfulness for this. So mindfulness comes in between intention and reaction. In between intention and reaction. So there is an intention to do something, or to say something, or to think something, but still we did not make any action. So in between that, if mindfulness comes, then we can understand our intention, and we can either accept that intention or modify that intention, or we can be neutral to that intention. So all opportunities are here with us. That is the pure aim of being mindfulness in spiritual way, according to this Buddhist meditation. Therefore, don't worry about what you cannot remember. That is not the purpose of mindfulness. It's a different skill. If you want to remember, then you have to create that intention. I want to remember each thought, whatever comes to my mind. And if you can maintain that intention as far as possible, then you can remember most of thoughts as far as possible. So without that intention, it is not possible. It happens random then.
So, Mendis Dushiyanti, is that clear?
Yes, extremely clear. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There is a question about samadhi from Nisal, and he or she asks, hi Paul, during meditation, when you keep on proceeding along the path of mindfulness, it will take you to samadhi. Is that right? How do you know when you reach samadhi? How do we know when we reach samadhi?
So how do you know, Paul?
Well, Upul and Nisal, I would say don't worry too much about whether you reach samadhi or not. Just try to be mindful every moment of the day. Just try to pay attention on whatever you do during the day. Every activity from morning to evening. And whether you reach samadhi or not is not within your hands anyway. So simply do the practice and see whatever happens. That is my answer.
Oh, very short and sweet.
So, sorry, I didn't understand.
No, your answer is short and sweet.
Okay, thank you.
My answers are long and bitter.
All right.
Well, yeah, exactly. The mindfulness is not worrying about samadhi or concentration or results. It is more concerning about the actions, the active part. When the mindfulness is here, then we know what we are doing, what the mind is doing, what is happening to the mind. So that is the most important part. And because of this awareness, because of this observation, naturally a distance comes in between the observer and observation, the observer and the object. Whenever we start to observe a pain in the body, then we can see there is a distance in between myself and the pain. If we do not observe, then I am the pain. I am the pain. No, I am in the pain. But with mindfulness, we don't have that intention to create any distance, but it comes, it goes with the mindfulness. So because of this distance, it doesn't affect us as before. Whatever we experience doesn't affect us as before. So we can relax. Relaxation is one of the very first characteristic qualities of samadhi. We can physically relax, we can mentally relax. And also, we have time now. We have time to think, to observe, to understand, to collect more information. We have time. Otherwise, no time. Everything is happening so quickly. No time. We are stressed. But because of we are relaxed, we have time. So time is another characteristic quality of samadhi. We have time. Rest time. And because of all those things, we are happy. We are happy. We can experience this happiness. Before, no time to experience happiness. Now time is here. Now we are relaxed. We can see, we can understand, we can think. First time we feel that all the tools are in our own hands. Before, no tools. We don't know where are tools. But now all the tools are within us. Therefore, some kind of contentment, some satisfactoriness is here. And when all those characteristic qualities are coming together, then mind itself becomes stillness. So you can say samadhi for all those skills or all those qualities, if they come together, if you experience all those things together at once, then you can say samadhi. And they have depth. Each quality has a depth. So if you practice more and more mindfulness, then you can go more and more deeper into each characteristic qualities of samadhi.
Thank you very much, Upul. There is something that I would like to add still, Nisal. Sometimes we have a goal or a certain expectation. Sometimes something that we strive for, something that we want to achieve. Like samadhi, we have a certain idea of what samadhi is, and we want to reach that. And that in itself can be a hindrance, that can be an obstacle. So it is very important not to have a certain preconceived idea about the goal or the objective that you want to reach. Just let it open and see whatever will unfold on your path. Just walk the path and you see what you will encounter as a kind of surprise. So you allow yourself to be surprised instead of having a fixed idea of what you will encounter in the future. So I would say let go of all ideas of samadhi or whatever. Simply follow the path, simply do the practice, and you see whatever you will encounter at the right time. Things will happen. Are these answers of Upul and myself helpful?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much, Paul. And thank you very much, also.
Thank you. Somebody reacted on this last question of Nisal about samadhi, and he said, you reach samadhi when you no longer have to ask the question. You reach samadhi when you no longer have to ask the question. So thank you for this, how do you say that, for this remark. Okay, maybe somebody would like to ask a question live.
I would like to ask a question. Can you hear me?
Please, Claudia, go ahead.
You can hear me. Okay, good. So I was quite in a weird situation past week because it was to.
Sorry, we have problems with understanding you, and I can see on the faces, the expression of the faces of other people, they have also difficulty with understanding you. So can you speak clearly, please, and slowly and into the microphone? Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Better? Okay, good.
Yes.
So I was in a situation past week where it was about to figure out having cancer on. So, and for sure, I started having thoughts about it. And one of them was, okay, there are different kind of treatments, but where's the limit? I mean, do I have to do every treatment which is possible? For me, it's like my body is my vehicle, and now it shows to damaged. So what does it say in the Buddhism about, okay, you have to take medicine if you're sick, but is there any limit? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, I'm wondering about this. So maybe Upul can give me an answer.
Okay, so let me repeat your question. You are confronted with a disease, cancer. You are receiving several treatments and medication. And your question is, how far can I go with undergoing another treatment, taking another kind of medication? Where is the limit? That is your question, is that correct?
Yeah, my question is, where's the limit? The question is, where's the limit? But I got already a diagnosis. It's probably not cancer, but in generally, I'm curious about a limit. What does they say in the Buddhism?
Okay, thank you very much. What does Buddhism say about? We are listening to Upul.
Well, Yeah, I am facing to my limitations as well to answer to this question. It is partly medical. I need medical knowledge to answer to your question as well. Anyhow, as a meditator, well, if I speak through my own experiences, then usually what I am doing is the medicine is the last thing, not the first thing. Yeah, first I allow the body to recover by itself. And if the body is unable, or if the body needs some help, then I try to supply some psychological energy into the body to recover by itself. Psychological energy means by accepting the sickness, by accepting the difficulties because of the sickness, not reacting to it negatively, not thinking, oh, why I have this sickness, like this. So accepting it and making friends with all the symptoms without being worried and without having any fear. Those psychological energies, I think, will help to the body to work with this sickness. And if it is not enough, if both my physical and psychological energies are not enough, then the third option is, the third step is I hand over to heal this sickness to the time. Then I think it needs some time. So I am getting some support from the time. And if these three are still unable to recover, unable to heal the sickness, cure the sickness, then I go for medication. Well, so everything has limits. The body has limits, the mind has limits, time has limits, and medicine, treatments have limits. Everything has limits. So we can try, time to time, we can try those meditation, and patience, acceptance, being friendliness, to help to the body to recover. And dear Claudia, please realize this. It's your responsibility to help to your body to recover. It's a responsibility. It's my responsibility to help to my body to recover. But it doesn't mean that I have to take medication always. There are some other alternative ways, but whatever, it's one of our own responsibilities. So please, and because of the body, we can meditate. And of course, we could do so many things because of the healthiness of body. And we have done. And now now we have a time to repay or express our gratitude towards the body, especially when the body is sick. So please do whatever you are doing with this attitude, with gratefulness. Dear body, I am grateful for you. Because of you, I have done so many things from my birth up to now. And even now I meditate because of you. Therefore, now you are having some difficulties. Now you are weak. You are having some sickness. Therefore, I will look after you. I will take care of you. I do not ignore you. I respect you and I do my best for you. So please make a healthy relationship with your body. This is very important. Don't ignore your body. Make a healthy relationship with your body. Always let the body feel that you are there to help to the body. That attitude, that feeling is very healing. It is one of the very strong medicines. And well, you can play with different medicines. If they are harmless, then of course you can just allow others to play with you.
So, Claudia, is that a helpful answer?
That's an helpful answer, but I'm still kind of wondering. I mean, the
Little closer to the mouth, please.
So I'm wondering still, because the option we have in medicine, like replace bones or organs or so, I could see it as I take care of my body and replace a liver or bones or so. But for me personal, it's not a way which what I like to do. So where's that limit? If I am the person who set the limit, on that point, I stop being responsible and I just let take time over. You know what I mean?
I'm afraid not. I'm afraid the connection is not very good. Maybe can you say the question again a little louder if possible?
I text you, okay?
No, this is good. This is
please, good. Okay.
Please keep it like this. Yeah.
Okay. So I know about to be responsible for my body, but where's the limit, or who sets the limit? I stop being responsible. Like our medical technique is so well developed, like we can replace bones, we can replace organs. So does it mean just we can do this? I have to do this? I'm just responsible if I use all the techniques and medicine, which is possible, or I am the one who, okay, that's the point where I say, no, I don't want to use these treatments, whatever.
Okay, so if I understood you well, is being responsible, does that mean, how shall I put it, being like deciding now it's enough, or exploring all the possibilities that are available?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Upul, we are listening to you again.
Yeah, again, it is as a third party, it is difficult to answer to your question. If it is personal, I mean, if it happens to me, then of course I can make a decision without wondering. But for another person, very difficult to give an answer, because sometimes you are not asking that question, but Claudia, but sometimes people ask about the life and death. Help to make a decision for living or dying. So it's difficult for another person to make a decision for life or death. Anyhow, my suggestion is just look at your body as a vehicle, as your car. So if part of your car is not working, then what you are doing is you are replacing a new part, new tire, new gearbox, or new engine, a new battery, something like that. You are not going to throw away the entire car and say goodbye to it. So body is like a vehicle, like a car. And we have, if there is a possibility, harmless possibility, then I don't see anything wrong to replace new organs or new parts, or even like taking blood. I don't think it's something wrong. If there is a chance, harmless chance to live, please live as long as possible in a healthy way, because at least you can meditate. You have more opportunities to meditate, more time to meditate, to complete this journey as much as possible. So this is a wonderful opportunity to be being a human. So we don't know after this, can we come back to this human world or go to somewhere else? It is uncertain, but this is certain. We are still humans. We have this opportunity. So my advice is, please use this opportunity to complete this journey as long as possible in a harmless way.
Here.
Sheila Perkins shares the following. I think it's an individual decision. How is she? If you have appendicitis or cancer, you will probably want to quickly access medical attention. I believe that as a meditator, you will be in touch with your body and feelings and be likely to make the decisions that are right for you. Yeah, so maybe thank you very much, Sheila, for sharing this with us. And I would like to add something more, Claudia, that could be helpful for you, maybe. When I am confronted with a dilemma, like what am I going to do now? Am I going to try another kind of medication, another treatment, or is it enough? Usually, the more I think about it, the less I know, and the more confused I get. So for me, what always helps when I'm confronted with several options and I don't know which way to choose, I don't know which path to take, I simply stop thinking about it, stop worrying about it. And sometimes I pull back from daily life, I pull back from society, and retreat into nature or a quiet place like Nilambe, and to simply be with the issue without thinking about it. And sometimes then clarity comes by itself. Sometimes the answer comes by itself. So that is something that I would like to add. Another question from Mendis Dushianti. This morning, Mr. Uppel mentioned some reasons for meditation, like it's a ritual, or it's an addiction, or you do it because of some egoistic reason. And he said none of these reasons is the right one. I think he also said that he would tell us later what the right reasons for meditative practice are. I would like to hear more about the right reasons. Thank you. So, Uppel, what according to you is the right reason for meditation?
Well, first, with whatever reasons, better to meditate. By meditating, we can correct our reasons. We can correct our visions. If we do not meditate, and if we think that first we had to we had to find a right reason. After finding a right reason, I can meditate. Then actually, no meditation. We are wondering and thinking and making concepts, and it goes like that. Therefore, just meditate. And while we are meditating, even before the meditation and after the meditation, we can do some kind of reflections. So before the meditation, we can ask this question. I mean, before the formal meditation, we can ask this question: why I want to sit now? What I am looking for? For this moment, not for after meditating and meditating and meditating after many lifetimes. Yeah, we know to be enlightened, to free from all the sufferings. That's very clear. That's the long-term destination. But for this moment, what I am looking for. So we better to raise this question before we start to do formal practice. Even though we are unable to answer to this question, it doesn't matter. And we can start our meditation. And after the meditation, after the formal meditation, then again we can ask this question: what is different now, before and after, before the practice and after the practice? What are the differences? Am I same person or different one? Same mind or different mind? We are not saying you must be different. We are not forcing ourselves to be a different one just after half an hour meditation or one day retreat, but just be open for this. And by doing this kind of evaluation, we can see what really meditation is doing for us. Not what we are expecting, not what the ego wants, but the real practice, what real practice can do for us. We can come to the reality, not what we are imagining, because religions and different teachers, different schools say so many beautiful things, so many big things, glorious things about meditation and meditators. But in the reality, they are not happening. Really, they are not happening. So we better to speak with the reality, communicate with the reality. What is happening from moment to moment? With this, actually, we can let go of all those egoistic and unrealistic ideas, goals, targets, and dreams, and stand on our own feet on the earth. We can be grounded. This is important. We better to ask this question from the meditation. What you can give me? What you can give me? What I can expect from you? What a journey can we go together? We better to ask this question from the meditation. Before the meditation, while we are meditating, and after the meditation. So trust your practice. This is important. Trust your practice. Then the practice brings you wherever it can bring you. We can ask this question from different teachers. We can try to find answers from different books. Then, of course, thousands of answers, thousands of ideas we can collect, but more and more confused, more and more confusion. Therefore, my suggestion is learn to communicate with your practice and make a good relationship with your practice. Trust your practice and try to communicate with your practice before the meditation, during the meditation, and after the meditation.
So, Mendis Dusyanti, is this an answer to your question?
Yes, very definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome. A question about ego. From Ranjana Vitana ... The rest of the name is not mentioned. Somebody from Sri Lanka, I think. Dear Paul, dear Sir Upul, I have a question regarding the ego. Maybe you both can give an answer. How to see or experience one's own ego in meditation? How to see or experience one's own ego in meditation? Thank you for your kind answers. So if you don't mind, Upul, I'll let you answer this question first.
How do I see my ego in my meditation? Is that the question?
That's a question.
Dear Angana, actually in the very beginning, the ego wants to meditate. Only the ego wants to meditate as well as everything else. We don't have any other force to do anything in our life. The ego wants to do everything as well as the meditation. Otherwise, we do not meditate. If no ego, then we don't meditate. So the ego wants to meditate. Ego wants to make the mind peaceful. I want to peacefulness. I want to have a calm mind. I want to relax myself. So in the beginning, all those expectations, desires come from the ego. So it's okay. There is no any other way to start anything. So that's why the Buddha speaks to the ego. He always speaks to the ego. The Buddha says, if you practice moral life, then you will gain some good benefits. If you practice generosity, then you will gain comforts, physical comforts. And if you practice concentration meditation, then you can gain high samadhis. And if you practice vipassana, then you can be a wise person. So Buddha speaks to the egos. Then when we hear those things, then the ego thinks, yeah, if I share my things with others, then I can get more profits. If I practice moral life, then I can get some safety. If I practice concentration meditation, then I can relax myself. If I practice insight meditation, then I can be a wise person. So all those things are egoistic desires. That's okay. That is the only way to start whatever, including meditation, including spiritual practice. And so we meditate. The ego wants to meditate. The ego thinks, so if I meditate for half an hour, then I can get all those benefits. But after half an hour, we are same. Mind is same, body is same, maybe worse. Then ego wants to give up. This is the nature of ego. Ego doesn't want to keep in try forever for anything. Just give full energy for whatever, for short period of time. If the ego can get results, then the ego is happy. If not, then the ego wants to try something else. So ego wants to try different techniques, meditation techniques. Then the ego is playing now with different teachers, different centers, different techniques, different traditions, changing quickly. That is the ego. Please understand this. The ego is good. Because of the ego, you started to practice meditation, but now the ego is disappointed because no results after 1 week meditation. No result, not enough, good enough results. Then the ego wants to either give up or change the practice. Then you have to be careful. If you allow your ego to play, then it becomes a non-stop game, wandering everywhere. You have to make some effort. Then effort is important. You have to make some effort. No, I try. Another couple of weeks, another couple of months, which is not usual for the ego, which is not familiar to the ego. So slowly now you are changing the direction of the ego. But even still the ego doesn't know that you are going away from the ego. It's only 1 degree. 1 degree. The direction is now going away from the ego. The journey is going away from the ego. The journey, meditation journey is not going with the ego now. But still the ego doesn't know because it is not like a U-turn. You are not getting a U-turn. Just change the direction, 1 degree direction, change. And still the ego thinks I am meditating. But actually now not the ego is meditating. Now maybe mindfulness is practicing, maybe awareness. So likewise, just start with the ego, go with the ego, and then let go of the ego.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Upul. how do I see the ego in meditation? When there is peace, when there are no distractions, when there is no thought, no emotion, there is no ego. And that gives a deep feeling of satisfaction and coming at home, basically. I'm in touch with a deep stillness. And then the ego comes in again and creates stories in the head, stories in the mind. I want this, I want that. I don't like this, I don't like that. When is the meditation over? What will I do after the meditation? Why am I doing this? I'm just wasting my time here. I better do this or that. That's the ego, that's the voice of the ego. And then I can be aware, or there can be awareness of that voice in the head, that mental noise. So I see the meditation, or I see the ego in meditation when there is mental noise and I'm aware of that. And as soon as there is awareness of it, as soon as I notice everything that is happening in the head, all these voices, all these wishes, all these desires, all these rejections, all these likes and dislikes. Basically, you can say ego is the network of likes and dislikes, the grasping and rejecting. So when that comes to an end, when there is just being, when there is just stillness, when there is just a deep silence, there is no ego there. There is no sense of me there. There is no I there. So to answer your question, Ranjana, how do I see ego in meditation? I notice when it is not there. Because that is freedom. That is a moment of freedom. It is like a burden that is lifted from my shoulder. It is like a weight that I was carrying and I put it down. And I feel much lighter. There is lightness, there is freedom, there is joy, there is fulfillment and satisfaction. And when the ego comes back in, when the stories come back in, I notice that, because then this lightness, this joy, this freedom is not there anymore. So that is my answer to your question, how do I see ego in the meditation? So you heard Upul's answer, you heard my answer. Are they satisfying to you?
Yes, thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question if there is no other?
Yes, I don't know who you are, but Bahar Tuba.
Bahar, yes, because in this ego, it just came to my mind. So ego is something to identify and materialize the thing in a way, is it? And what we do with meditation is there's like selflessness, so it's like emptiness or something like Dhamma, But what the meditation does is changing also our ego. Am I like right or misunderstanding? Like what transform with meditation? Is it like the ego is changing or?
So basically your question is, what is the impact of meditation on the ego? Is that correct?
Exactly, yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you. Upul, we are listening.
Me too. Well, yeah, the very first thing is meditation is not disturbing to the ego. Please correct this. Please make this correction. They are not two opposite things. No, they are not two opposite armies. Meditation and the ego. As I said, we start to practice meditation because of the ego. And up to a certain extent, we practice meditation because of the ego. And then there is a turning point. Then we come to one point that either we have to stop the journey or continue the journey without the ego. We can stop the journey with the ego, or we can continue the journey without the ego. So whenever we come to that point, only then we can make a decision. But until that, up to that point, we don't have to worry about the ego so much. It is helping us to practice. For example, when we are in a group meditation, maybe it's a 1 hour meditation, but usually we can sit only for 45 minutes, for example. But everybody else is sitting very quietly without changing the posture after 45 minutes. So then the ego says, why you are not trying? If everybody can do, why you are not doing it? So because of this ego, we have some energy to not to change the posture and continue the practice. So, and in the very beginning, mind is wandering, and it looks like we cannot meditate. But no, I can practice. Yeah, mind is wandering now, but after practicing for a couple of days, for good enough time, I can control my mind. So that is also an egoistic decision, egoistic idea. That idea comes from the ego. But because of those egoistic decisions, we can continue the practice. Therefore, actually, in the very beginning, the ego is a supporter for this journey. Supporter is a partner. We cannot go this journey alone from the very beginning. Therefore, get support from your ego. What's wrong? If you can get support from the ego, from anybody, it's okay. But please understand this, that you cannot complete the journey with the ego. Only it can bring you to halfway. And then the rest of the journey, the ego doesn't know the path. The ego doesn't have a map. And the ego doesn't want, as Paul said, the freedom. The ego doesn't look for freedom. It is only looking for temporary pleasures, joy, happiness. That's all. The freedom is not an aim or not a goal for the ego. So with the ego, you can go up to the highest blissfulness, highest joy, happiness. But after that, the ego says, this is the way I can bring you. I don't know any more, anything else. And only then, after that, you can say goodbye to the ego, goodbye to the ego. When you are utterly happy, when you are fully happy, not before. then the ego is happy, you are happy too. So then easier to say goodbye to each other. You are not making the ego disappoint, and the ego doesn't make you disappoint. So easier to say goodbye. The Buddha says, Buddha gives a very beautiful metaphor for this. Like a snake is letting go his or her own old skin. Like a tree is allowing an old leaf to fall down. Likewise, learn to let go of the ego. So when the right comes, it is easier to make the decision to let go of the ego, say goodbye to the ego, without hurting each other. Until that, get maximum support from your ego for your meditation.
So, Bahar Tukba, is that a clear answer?
I don't really understand everything now, I think, because now my mind is a little bit confused, but I took some notes and I will see. It's complicated now.
Okay. I'm looking at Upul. Upul, you still want to add something, or you want to move on?
Well, dear Tukba, did I make you confused?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I can't really understand everything now. I'm a little bit like in my mind, not mindful, or
Yeah, then let us make it simple. Just look at the ego as your friend, as your spiritual partner. Don't look at it as don't look at she as your enemy. At least you are not alone because of the ego.
okay.
Okay. Thank you, Bahar Tukba.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, friends, I think it is time to come to the last part of our meditation day. There were still two more questions from Eddie. I'm very sorry, Eddie, but there is no time to go deeper into them at the moment. Questions about the medical question that Claudia asked. So unfortunately, there is no time to go deeper into this. But if you feel like sharing, or if you feel it's okay, then I will send your messages to Claudia in person. Simply let me know by chat. Before I give the word to Upul to come to a conclusion of this day by a reflection or meditation or sharing maybe, there is a practical point that I would like to mention, and I mention it every meditation day because for many people it is unfamiliar. The Buddhist tradition has a long tradition of monks and nuns who go on alms round. So basically, the Pali word bhikkhu means beggar, and the word bhikkhuni means female beggar. So every morning, in the Buddhist tradition, monks and nuns go on alms round and they collect their food for the rest of the day. They have been doing that for 2,600 years already, as long as Buddhism exists. And it was already a practice before that in ancient India, where spiritual seekers left their family, left their house, left their security, and lived a life of spiritual practice in the forests of India, wandering around and begging for food. So until today, that tradition is continued. So there is no money asked for, no fixed amount of money asked for this meditation day, but people are invited to donate. So if you like to give dana, which means generosity in Pali, one of the spiritual qualities that we develop on the path. So if you would like to give a donation to Upul and to Nilambe, you can do so. And you can find the bank account number on the invitation letter that you received from our host, Mar Churado. It is her personal bank account number, Spanish bank account number, and she will make sure that the money arrives well with Upul and Nilambe. So thank you already very much for contributing. And now I give the word to Upul to come to make a kind of conclusion of this meditation day. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul, for your beautiful words and supportive words for myself and for Nilambe, also for everybody else to practice generosity. Thank you very much, dear friends, for participating to this retreat. I always feel grateful for myself to have this great opportunity to meditate with many meditators, who genuine meditators. So you make me rich spiritually, you make me rich, and also thank you very much for your donations for Nilambe. Because of your donations, I can manage Nilambe comfortably. And whenever you come to Nilambe to meditate, I think still Nilambe will be there, especially because of your concerning and because of your support. And so, how to conclude the session? What else I can say now? So life is still fresh.